A tap, a tap, a tap. I salute all conscious souls on this platform. It's quite a long time we talk about our ancient mythology, which was stolen from us to write the Bible. So today I'm here to elaborate the truth to my people. If you come here, please. Jesus is a metaphor or a name of the sun in which they took histories from Akan or ancient spirituality or ancient what? Cosmology or ancient beliefs or ancient cultures to plagiarize what we have on our motherland. And now they told us that Jesus is the Savior. Okay. And I've been proving to my people that Jesus Christ, as people are worshiping the metaphor God on the pictures in churches, he never existed. It's a lies. It's a story. It's being plagiarized from what? Ancient Uset, Usa, and Heru story. So today we are going to elaborate on that. If you come here, please, Facebook limits the views of my people. You try to share in your Telegram, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Imo, Twitter, everywhere. Okay, so let's listen to one prophet in Ghana. Okay, let's listen to one prophet in Ghana who speaks about heaven and hell. Okay, one prophet in Ghana who spoke about heaven and hell. So I'm coming. Yes, so let's listen. This is one prophet in Ghana. He's called what is his name? Chirabosom. Okay, he was even trying to become the president of Ghana. Listen to the message of this man of God. He's saying he's a man of God. God talks to him. Listen to the message he's giving to his people. Let's listen, okay?
You will suffer before you die. You get your punishment on this earth. You get
my network is fucking up. Please forgive me, I'm coming.
You will suffer before you die. You get your punishment on this earth. You get
This is a man of God talking to his people. And he's telling his people that where there is heaven or where there is hell, no matter what you do, you get your punishment on this earth. It is a full video. My network is just fucking up. I wanted to play for you. Please, I'm coming. Small time.
so many years. We need to wake up in mind who say asa. You will suffer before you die. You get.
So the man of God is trying to tell us that you get your punishment on this earth. Okay. So when you die and you go, there is no heaven nor there is no hell. One day you are not going to sit in heaven. You are not going to go to the ground where there is hell. Okay. This is a plagiarization of what our culture. So let's read the story of what? Heru. Okay. When we talk about Heru, Heru is Heru, which was plagiarized to what? Horus. Horus, which is Horus. So Heru is the same as what? Horus. Uset is the same as what? Osiris. Uset is the same as what? Isis. Okay. Uset is the feminine, who is the same as what? Isis. And Usa, who is what? Osiris. So Usa is Osiris, Uset, Isis, Heru, Horus. This is the ancient what? Spirituality. And Uset represent the moon. Usa represent the first what? Sun, which what? Shine. That is Ra. Do you understand? The animation of what? Ra within the sun disk. The first sun is Usa. Okay. And the newborn sun to come and rule the next days of our years is what? Horus, which was what? Heru. Okay. So today we are going to learn. I'm going to read over here. If you have any search engine, you can access the search engine. You can go to Google or Encyclopedia. You type in the birth of Horus. The birth of Horus. I have the Egyptian Book of the Dead over there. Okay, that is the Pet-an Heru, which I cannot carry anytime I'm working. I give reverence. It is on my shrine. I give reverence to that book, so I don't carry that book. But if you access the Google, you get what I'm going to tell you, the truth. The story of Horus comes out of the Osiris myth, which was one of the most popular in ancient Egypt and gave rise to the cult of Isis. This story began shortly the creation of the world. Osiris Isis ruled over paradise they created. When men, women were from what? Tears of what? Ra, which is Atum or Atum. When men and women were born from the tears of Atum, Ra, they were uncivilized and barbaric. Osiris taught them culture, religious observance to honor the gods, and the art of agriculture. The people were all equal at this time. Men and women, owing to the gifts of Isis, which were disposed to all. Food was plentiful, and there was no want or need unfulfilled. Do you understand? Osiris' brother, Seth, grew jealous of what? Him. And his what? His envy turned to hatred when Seth discovered that his wife, Nephthys, has transformed herself into the likeness of Isis and seduced Osiris. Seth was not angry with Nephthys, however, but forced his revenge on his brother, the beautiful one, who had presented a temptation too strong for Nephthys to resist. Seth tricked Osiris into laying down in a casket he had made to his brother. Exact specifications. Once Osiris was inside, Seth slammed the lid and threw the box into the Nile. Okay, so this is, let me explain up to here. So when during the days of what our ancient ancestors and ancestors in the ancient of what Kemet, which is Heliopolis, ancient Egypt, it was what? Heru or Osiris. Osiris is the same as what? Usa. And the brother of what? Usa is Seth. Seth represents darkness. Osiris or Usa represents what? The sun or light. Do you understand? So the sun was ruling, whereby Osiris, who is being what? As the ruler of the earth, the first king on earth, as he was ruling, his brother, who is Seth, found jealous of him, now planned to kill what? Osiris. So Osiris was prepared by Seth. Seth now balanced Osiris' life, built a casket to tell what? Osiris to go and sleep in the casket. When Osiris slept in the casket, Seth now threw the casket into the river Nile. This is just talking about how lies has taken over on Mother Earth, how they've used Jesus Christ to come and seduce our mind, how the devil have put us in a casket, throwing us out of what? Nature, from our ancient ancestral spirituality, which is our cult of nature. Okay, So it is not the story of what? Jesus. We are moving on. The casket floated down the river to eventually lodge in a tamarisk tree by the shores of Babylon, where the king and queen admired its beauty and sweet scent, and had it cut down for a pillar in their court. While this was going on, Seth has unspared Osiris, rule and reign over the land with Nephthys. He neglected the gifts which Osiris and Isis had bequeathed, and the land suffered drought and famine. So it is talking about how these whites and their offsprings are now seducing our mind with the story of what? Jesus. How they are telling us that Jesus is the son, or Jesus is what? Horus, who is now ruling. And they've put the mass people of what? Christians, or the mass people of what? Africans, or the mass people in the church to go and pray to this white boy, to this immaculate boy. Okay? So the virgin birth that they are giving to you is coming from this story. Before we finish, you understand where we are going. Isis knew she had to bring Osiris back from where Seth had banished him to, and went out searching for him. She finally found him inside the tree pillar at Babylon, asked the king and queen for it, and brought it back to Egypt. Osiris was dead. Here is where the secret is coming from. Osiris was dead, but Isis knew she could bring him back to life. She asked her sister Nephthys. Isis represents Mary. Nephthys represents Mary Magdalene. Do you understand? Isis represents Mary, and Nephthys represents Mary Magdalene. That is whereby they tell you when Mary was going to conceive, the sister of Mary is what? Mary Magdalene. Even when Jesus died and they were going to search for the body, they went there, or Mary went there with the sister, which is Mary Magdalene. So Nephthys, this story was plagiarized from what? Isis and Nephthys. Okay, so wherever you see Nephthys, do you understand? Nephthys is just talking about the Eku. As I say, yeah, do you understand? The Eku people, the Ekura, the illuminated people, the ancestral spirits. Do you understand? So Nephthys, Mary Magdalene, Nephthys knew, okay, and had what? Great what? Connection with what? Isis. Now they try to bring the body of what? Osiris or Usa into life. Let's see what happened over there. Osiris was dead, but Isis knew she could bring him back to life. She asked her sister Nephthys to stand guard over the body and protect it from what? Seth, while she went to gather herbs. That is why we use herbs in incantations. That is why we call it what? Ebru herbs. 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 So Isis went for herbs, which is Edro. Du means 10. Edu means to arrive. Du also means wait. So in Akan, we call the priest Odunsini or Oduyefo or Odunsifo. And that's Oman Konfo. These people are the people who conjure, the people who are able to what? Manipulate the herbs to balance what? Its energy and reflect what? Life within what? The natural what? Element of what? Nature. Do you understand? So this story is talking about how we use herbs in our African what? Spirituality as well. So Isis knew that she could bring back what? The life of what? Osiris again. So Isis now went for what? Herbs. For what? Went to gather herbs for portions. Seth, meanwhile, had heard that his brother had returned and was out looking for him. He found Nephthys and tricked her into telling him where the body was hidden. Then he hacked Osiris into pieces and scattered the body part across the land into the Nile. When Isis came back, she was horrified to find her husband's body missing. Nephthys told her how she had been tricked and what Seth had done to Osiris. So when you read the Egyptian book of the dead, the Petan Heru, or the book of coming forth by day, they will tell you that when Usa was killed, okay, or when Osiris was killed, the body of Osiris was cut into 14 pieces, now threw into the river Nile, okay. And the river now that they are talking about is just talking about the sky, what oceans, or the sky goddess, or the firmament, whereby every night you see the stars appearing. That is why we have what the moon cycles in 14 days becoming what full. When the moon starts the first day as a crescent moon, it spends its life 14 days before it becomes full. This represents what the body of Osiris, which was cut into pieces, now threw into the river Nile by Seth. Two sisters then went in search of the body part and resemble Osiris. His penis had been eaten by a fish, so he was incomplete, but Isis could still return him to life. That is why I've been telling you, females are very special. The penis of Osiris, these ones, they don't tell people. They don't tell people the immaculate birth. I'll come to Jesus' story. You relax. The penis of Osiris was eaten. So Osiris was not having what? Penis. Because the body was cut into 14 pieces. And what? The fish ate the penis of what? Osiris. So Isis was able to what? Bring forth life of what? Osiris again. Feminine are able to regenerate and give life without what? Fertilizing the men. That is the consciousness, the great divine feminine. Okay, let's continue. Isis used her magic and portions, and the portions is talking about the herbs. So Isis did incantations with the herbs and the magics that she knew. In some versions, the story is aided in this by Nephthys. So Nephthys what supported what? Isis. Do you understand? Nephthys supported what? Isis. Osiris revived, but could no longer among the living, because he was no longer what? Whole. Do you understand? So through the incantations being done by Isis, which is Uset, Osiris was able to regenerate itself again through Isis. But because the age of Osiris was not able to regenerate and come and stay as a living again, they would have to be descendants or descend to the underworld and reign there as Lord of the Dead. So Osiris now went to become the Lord of the Dead, which is what? Anubis, Ampu, the god of the dead, Anubis. Okay? The hall of Amanti, Maat. When you die, we go to the Duat. The Duat. That is where all the ancestral spirits are all. The Abos, that is where they are. The Eku and the Ekutus. The illuminated ones. And Osiris is the king of the dead. So Osiris could not come and live what? In the living again. But he went to dwell at the Duat or at the underworld. That is where when we die, our body now goeth. Do you understand? That is why they tell you Jesus was born by immaculate birth, a virgin birth. The virgin birth is talking about Isis. You come there. Let's continue. Prior to his departure through, Isis transformed herself into a kite, a falcon, and flew around his body, drawing his seed into her own and becoming pregnant with Horus. Osiris left the underworld and Isis went into hidden in the delta regions of Egypt to protect herself and her son from Seth. Let's conclude over here. Prior to his departure, though Isis transformed herself into a kite or a kite, a falcon. That is why Horus has what? If you go to the ancient Egyptian myth, or if you type in the ancient Egyptian Horus, Horus or Heru comes out what? A falcon god. Because during the incantations for Osiris to regenerate its energy through Isis, Isis now turned or tuned herself into what? The falcon god. Now went around the body of what? Osiris to get the spirit of what? Osiris. Now what? Came through Isis to give birth to the newborn son, who is Heru or Horus, to come and rule. Do you understand? So, let's continue. And flew around his body, drawing his seed into her own and becoming pregnant with Horus. Osiris left for the underworld, and Isis went into hidden in the delta region of Egypt to protect herself and her son from Set. This is the story they used to tell you at church, okay? That the virgin birth or that the immaculate birth and the virgin birth that they are telling you, it's not the story of Jesus, whereby they told you Mary Magdalene and Mary herself. Mary now gave birth, or Mary went to sleep, and during the dreams of Mary, the Spirit of God came to speak to Mary, and Mary conceived a boy, and that boy was called Jesus. And Jesus was born and hidden in a manger. Do you understand? And hidden in a manger. They is talking about how Horus or Heru was born through Isis. When Osiris was dead, Osiris' body was cut into 14 pieces. Now threw into the river Nile by what? Set. Isis now went to find a proper barrier for Osiris. Now she find the body of what? Osiris, gather them into 14 pieces. When Isis found the body of Osiris, the penis, P-E-N-I-S, the penis was not there. But indirectly, Isis now went for herbs. Prepare a concoction or a portion. Now try to add magical M-A-G-I-C-A-L. Try to add what? Magical spells to what? The portions, the herbs she has prepared. Now, she attuned herself into the falcon god. Now rose around, or what? Moved around the body of what? Osiris. The spirit of Osiris now came back into impregnating Isis to give birth to the newborn son, who is what? Heru, or who is Horus. Okay, so this is the immaculate birth. And the immaculate birth that they've given to you is being what? Gotten, or what is being plagiarized from what? This story that I'm telling you. There is not any Jesus. That Mary also existed. That Mary Magdalene also existed. Indirectly, Jesus never existed before. Jesus Christ that they told you, the white boy who is on the cross, never existed. It is what? A fragment of stories that they put in your mind to create church, to create enslave what? Prison within your mind, within your mentis, for you not letting you to think, for you not letting you to know your life on this what? Earth, for you not to know your function on this earth. Okay, so Jesus never existed. It is a plagiarization. The whole Bible that they are telling you, if you go to Malachi chapter 4, verse 5 downwards, it says, at the end of the days, I'll change the minds of the kids or of the children to thy fathers, and I'll change the minds of the old or thy fathers to the kids. This is telling you that during the days of our time now, we are the region, or we are the conscious Christ. We are the conscious what? Spiritual beings to bring truth to our people. So our leaders who are leading us in our African countries, our leaders who are representing us as blacks in the colonial countries are now betraying us. That is why they use the 666. Come and give me my water before you go. No problem. That is why they use the COVID to come and seduce our mind. Please, if you are here, Jesus Christ, as they told you, the immaculate birth, the virgin birth, Jesus Christ never existed. It is not any virgin birth given to you. It is what? The story of what? Uset on what? Heru and Set. Set represent darkness. Okay? Set represents darkness. During the first day of creation, it was primordial darkness. When we talk about primordial darkness, we are talking about it was what? Total darkness. Out of nothingness. Now, Nanaafiabiribakofi, Nananyame, Amen, Amenet, Mau Sokolisa, Olokun, now combine their souls, dwelt within the Ka and Kayet. That is the black substance of what? Space. Now combine their black substance of what? Energy, creating the souls, which is the Ka and Kayet. Now from the Ka and Kayet, the first what? Born, or the first child of what? The Ka and Kayet. Nananyame, Amen, Amenet, Mau Sokolisa, or Olokun. Their first children is Nunet. So now they gave birth to what? Primordial darkness of what? Water. Now Ra, who is Usa? Ra was called Usa or Osiris. Now the first light came to separate darkness. And the first light was called what? Osiris, who is also what? Ra. When the first light set, okay, our ancestors told us that Set has killed what? Usa. So light was called what? Usa, and darkness was called what? Set. Because in darkness is chaos. In darkness is where the evil people plan all everything to enslave us. Do you understand? So when the sun sets, darkness came to take over. This is where they told you Set has now killed Usa. Now threw the body into the river Nile. The body of Usa, which was threw into the river Nile, represent the 12 stars, or represent the 14 movement of the moon during the night sky, and what? The 12 stars of what? The constellation of what? Usa or Orion or Sa. Do you understand? Orion is called Sa in Akan or Usa. Do you understand? So in the day, the sun rules. In the night, the moon rules. So before the moon also becomes full, the moon spends 14 days. The 14 days that the moon spent represent the 14 pieces body of what? Osiris, which was caught into the river Nile. After 14 days, the moon now becomes full. And within the moon, you see a woman with a child, or a woman with a child on the laps. This represents what? The incantations, the magical spells, and the portions whereby Isis and Nephthys combined to bring forth back of Usa into life. Do you understand? So after 14 days, you see that the moon becomes full. This is telling us that after every 14 days, during the arising of the moon, every 14 days before the moon becomes full, and every new moon, there is a newborn son, who is Heru, or who is what? Horus. It is not Jesus. So when you see the sun arising in the atmosphere, it is what? Not Jesus. It is the sun who controls what? The day and the night. 6 o'clock a.m., the sun arises. We arises. 6 o'clock p.m., the sun sets. We set. We go off to sleep. We dream in the darkness. Set rules. Okay? So, indirectly, my conclusion is to tell my fellow people, my fellow blacks, that Jesus is a story which was plagiarized from our own history. Jesus is a story which was what? Plagiarized from our own Kemetic what? Spirituality. So when they talk about Jesus being the virgin birth, it is not Jesus. It's Horus. And Horus represents what? Heru. And Heru represents the sun. So the moon and the sun continue to rule the life on Mother Earth. There is no any immaculate birth, who is Jesus coming to save you one day, not tomorrow. You are not going to die and go to heaven, where there is the Father and the Son in that sky. You are not going to die and today go to the Mother Earth, where there is what? Satan and fire there. No. It is a slave tool to control our mind. My people, wake up. Let's wake up. Let's know the truth, so that our next generation and the generation ahead of us will continue to know the truth. Because they've seduced us for long, and they are ruling us with our politicians, our politics, which through our medias, which through our churches, which through our government, which through our own what? Seducing great people. Do you understand? Our own people are puppets. They've taken our money, okay, hidden for their children and their family for the next futures. And they are telling us that we should go to church and go and pray to Jesus, so that Jesus will help us, so that one day Jesus will come and save us. But I'm here to tell you, your money you are spending at church, your time you are spending at church, there will not be one day you are going to recount or what? Account for that money. There's not going to be one day you die and you go to heaven. Go and read history and look at the days or the years life started on earth. People died and they are gone. One day you die and you go. This earth will not roll like mud. This earth will not melt like fire. Nothing else. This earth continues to exist. We are portions on Mother Earth, and we have to play our roles on Mother Earth. Okay? We are the descendants of the ancient Egyptians, who are the descendants of what? The great Abosom, the great Orishas, the great forces of what? Nature, who created this what? Inte. We are not going to die and go to hell, but we change our body. When we die, we go to the Duat. We go to the hall of Amanti, where Osiris ruled. When Osiris died, he went to the underworld to rule. But the spirit of Osiris now came into what? The spirit of what? Usa or Uset or Isis, now to give birth to what? Horus. And Horus was born. So any immaculate birth that they are telling you that is Jesus, Mary and the Father, or Mary and God, the God that they are telling you is Tehuti. Tehuti was the consort of what? Ra or Usa. Usa is the same as Ra. Tehuti is the angel that they told you God sent to come and tell Mary. Okay. Tehuti was the consort of what? Ra or Usa. So message was given to Tehuti to come and give to what? Isis, that the newborn son will what? Appear. And what? The spirit of what? Osiris now came into what? Isis to give birth to what? Horus or Heru. This is the immaculate birth. This is talking about how every day the sun is able to arise on the 12 hours of the day and 12 hours of the night. So the hours, the sun arises from the hole and the horizon, through the hole, moving through the hole in the hours, we got what? Horus. So Horus represents the hours, or Horus is the same as what? Hours. H-O-U-R-S. Do you understand? That is Horus. And when you spell hours, okay, it's H-O-U-R-S. Do you understand? H-O-R-U-S is Horus. And H-O-U-R-S is hours. So indirectly, hours, they change the hours to become what? Horus. Okay, and the hours represent what? The movement of the sun in the skies, in the 12 hours of the day and the 12 hours of the night. I love everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Nana Bri. Do you understand? Yeah. I continue to build my spiritual center. People are not helping, but still, I am a focused boy. Okay. I'm a strong man. I'm still preparing. Okay. Hey, I love everyone.